to another episode of Ghosted, live and in stereo today.
Like every Saturday.
Yeah. Today, I'm so happy. So happy to have some good friends of ours.
Yay!
Nick Franco and Pete Riario from One Exit. I've been on their podcast, 1, 2, 3 times so far, at least.
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
And I've engineered it a bunch more times than that as well.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, you also provided us with our theme song.
You're absolutely correct. Yes, I did.
The royalties are flooding in, by the way, right now.
Oh, good to hear.
That's where I started getting my.
Gotta get a plumber for those.
Yeah.
That's where I started my theme music making, and then I made the one for Ghosted shortly after I made that one.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
And I'm so glad that I could help you guys.
Okay,
we appreciate it.
Thank you. It came out awesome.
It did.
It got all the elements that we were looking for. Just that feel like, plopping in the cassette, heading down the Jersey Shore.
Snooky at the end, yelling out.
No, turn around. Teleham cooking. Yeah. All the goodies.
Pork roll.
Sounds of the shore.
Yeah, all the sounds of the shore. I think it was just the perfect cruising feeling, like we're going down Sandy Hook.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just so excited to be able to have you guys on because we've got some awesome, user-submitted stories?
Yes.
And we've got some,
great.
I believe they're pretty long.
The one user submitted quite a few stories from throughout their childhood and mid-20s.
Wow.
So I was excited. I was reading through. I was like, they wrote me a book. This is great content.
Now, was the user's name Stephen Kingo?
You're right. Oh my gosh. Now that would have been something.
Lovely.
What was his pen name? He also had a pen name that he would write under as well.
Yes, he did. Yes,
Bachman.
Richard Bachman.
Yes.
Yep, exactly.
Yes.
Oh my god, I didn't know that. You learn something new every day.
Mm-hmm.
Or it could be Robert Arthur, otherwise known as the pen name of Alfred Hitchcock.
Wow.
Whoa. I'm learning more things. Oh my gosh. That's
I did
great.
not know that.
I don't even know if I knew that.
Hidden in plain sight, Robert Arthur.
Yes.
And then the other user story is just a smaller one, but we love to share them with a panel because that's where we get the best reactions and everything. And I haven't heard the stories yet, so they're always brand new to me, which is great. So I'm just excited to be here to have people to talk about them with.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Yes, likewise. We'll certainly chime in when needed.
Well, I guess our first question before we dive into the stories is, do either of you have your own paranormal experiences?
Go ahead, Nick. You want to?
No. You start, dude.
Well, I personally do, and then I have one that was relayed to me by my two of my cousins who were in Belgium. What happened? I'll be whatever. The Cliff Notes version of that is that my uncle who lived in a small town, Hersselt, Belgium, with his 4 daughters. Before he passed away, he made a joke, and maybe this, I don't know how this joke would go over with any family, but he said to his daughters, and it was jokingly, he said, after I pass away, I'm going to come back and haunt you. Yeah, which, I would have laughed at it, I think, had I been under the same circumstances. And so what happened was that, after he passed away, and I want to say this was maybe less than a year after that, they live in a very, very large house. I mean, it's something you'd see out of like on that Netflix show, what is like Blythe, the Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It really looks like one of those places. And anytime I had slept over there, and that was many, many times, it was just always like this very, ominous feeling, I guess, inside, that, I literally sleep with one eye open. But so one night, there was no wind. It was just a very calm night. My aunt and her daughters were sitting in the living room, and both doors on either side of the living room simultaneously opened. And you have to understand, they were both firmly shut closed. It wasn't like one was like, loose or anything like that. But here's the other part of it is that it was the type of handle that's, how would you call it? Like a horizontal handle that you have to push down in order to open and then pull out. And they saw the handles, physically move down, both of them, and both doors open simultaneously.
I gotta go. I gotta run.
I have chills from that. That's not okay.
How old was that house, Pete? Like, is it a very old structure? Because I know I was going to say in Belgium there are a lot of old, like those European architecture over there.
Yeah, no, I think it predates easily the 1960s or so. Would be my educated guess on that as to how old. But I spoke separately to both my first cousins, and they both you had to see how their expression changed when I spoke to them about it. How they just almost went very almost pale. Just think because thinking about that night, and they're like, it was really terrifying. And they relayed that story about their father saying that to them, and immediately I think that's what came to mind. What both of them told me, that he had come back to send a message, or something. But yeah, very, very strange circumstances. The other one I'll tell you quickly is my grandfather and I had a very a really amazing relationship. And when I was living in Saddle River, my grandfather had the upstairs room, and I would go up there and speak with him all the time. Just sitting down, he would relay stories about the Great Depression and so on, World War II and the like. And he was an immigrant from Italy, came over here. So, yeah, Ellis Island, the whole thing. It was a chef in New York City and all that.
Oh, wow.
And then, like I said, moved into my dad's house in the later stages of his life. And so after he passed away, I remember I went into his kitchen where I used to have a lot of chats with him. Like I said, it would be just long chats about anything and everything. Mm-hmm. And I remember walking over to his chair, and I put my hand on his chair, and I said, even though I said it sort of in a whisper, I said, even though I know, you're not here, I feel your presence. I know you're still here. I had literally just finished the sentence when I heard this kind of like a knock, and I spun around, and on the top of his refrigerator was this large, plastic container, and it wasn't cylindrical, it was square. Mm-hmm. It had fallen over on its side. I then proceeded to watch it. It spun off of the top of the refrigerator, like you'd roll a barrel down a hill. Yeah. So it rolled off the top of the refrigerator and onto the floor. I ran out of there like somebody dumped a pot full of water on a cat. Yeah. It was just. I was terrified, that because just as I had said that happened, and and again, I'm a more scientific based guy, but I do believe that there are definite paranormal experiences, and that there's some validity in a good number of these paranormal experiences.
Physics does not like anything being acted on a cube and making it get act like a cylinder. That's definitely
right.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, there was a real velocity to how it just rolled off the fridge. It wasn't, and I remember after I saw that, I took that same container in the daylight the next day, put it on top, and I shook that fridge like a bully shaking change out of a kid's pants. And the thing it didn't move. I mean, at all. So yeah, again, I could not recreate what happened there, and so all I could chalk it up to is that this was a visit from my grandfather, and in a good way, a good life, right? To say that he was around and still watching over. Yep.
See, that's so nice. I wanted to add into your first story. My family can be we're very dark humor and stuff like that. So my grandfather, actually, after he passed, my cousin, who's a year younger than me, when he was a toddler, he moved into his room. And he was crying to my aunt every night. This scary man keeps taking out his teeth in my closet. And my aunt immediately knew it was my grandfather. And she went in there. She's like, Dad, stop scaring Timothy. She's like, this is not funny. And it never happened again. He completely stopped.
That's great.
Oh my gosh. And I'll never forget that. But as soon as you were talking about this, I'm like, oh God, oh, my family's just like this.
You're instantly reminded of that, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man!
When I have dentures, I'm gonna remember that bit. That's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one. You're gonna bring it back. You know?
The old denture ghost.
Oh Lord, help us! Oh.
Wow, that's incredible, Pete. The fact that your family and you have some experiences like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it's, like I said, the only paranormal experience that I can recall. It was that happened to me. You know, me personally, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that would. I don't think I'd ever forget something like that. To be honest,
no. Oh, it's still stuck with me all these years later. And I mean, God, that happened when I was, I mean, this is going back like 30, 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, about 30, 40 years ago that happened. But still, I could, like I said, I remember it vividly. Yep.
That's so cool.
Wow. You see, I haven't been witness to like really much like in my life as far as like paranormal happenings. I did talk about the time when you guys were on our pod over at our friend Robert's house over in Saddlebrook. We would just be in his room, and then all of a sudden the window just like flew up open. It's like what? You know, like it's not, you know, like it's one of those heavy windows that you slide up and down. It's like, okay, how the heck did that just happen? It was just like,
that crazy vertical wing.
We're leaving your room right now. We're going to go downstairs. Yeah, I don't think somebody wants us to be in your room.
Get out.
Yeah,
Chris and Paige, have either of you stayed like at a haunted hotel or had any desire to do that?
I have not, but I have all the desire to.
Yeah, me
all
too.
I want.
We've been talking about that for a really long time because now that I have this mobile board, we can do things remotely. And it just happened to be that I got it during the pandemic, so there aren't many places that we can go that we can stay.
As of now, yeah.
So we've had a lot of interest in doing that, just because. I mean, not only for the experience, but it would just be really nice to be there and then see all the history around it and everything as well. So it would be really cool to check one out. We are definitely interested.
Good.
But actually, Pete, you know my cousin Dave.
Yes.
He's actually had more paranormal experiences than I have. Like he and his wife, they've gone to. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the 76 House up in Japan, New York.
No. Ooh.
Yeah. Again, as we were talking about on our pod, there's a lot of revolutionary history throughout this area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, the 76 House was also the temporary where Major John Andre, the guy that actually got Benedict Arnold to be traitor.
Oh.
The Brit that turned Arnold.
Yeah.
Major John Andre, he was temporarily jailed there at the 76 House.
Oh.
And he was actually tried at, there's a church right down the road from there, and then hung not far from there as well. All within that same vicinity there in Japan, New York.
That's a whole lot of energy right in that town right there.
Exactly. And again, being that many, revolutionary battles went through this whole area, besides, Major Andre, there's a lot more, could have some lingering effect there. Anyway, my cousin, he and his wife, they had gone there to the 76 House, and I have to see it. I believe they had taken a picture that there's something in the picture.
Oh, I love when that happens.
that they believe it's actually because there wasn't a person there, but there's something in the picture that they believe. I believe it's a revolutionary soldier.
Whoa,
that's so cool! Oh my god!
Yeah.
Whoa.
So like when I see Dave next, I got to ask to see that one. But the 76 House has had a lot of it's known as a haunted location And there's I believe it's table 2 is the big table that a lot of the happenings occur. That like glasses will just fall off the table. No matter what the temperature is, it could be 90 plus degrees, sweltering heat, summer. Someone sits down at that table, they're freezing cold.
Ooh. Oh, I love that.
Yes. So definitely some place to check out again. Once this is all over, would be the 76 house and some of the happenings. I believe they actually did tours also. I'm not sure what time of year, but I think it was around the time when Major Andre was tried and hung.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is adding to our list of many various paranormal places we want to go see and investigate and run around like crazy people, because that's what I do. Just see me running off in a field with ghost equipment. Hello?
Yeah, and Dave and I was saying, we actually went to Devil's Tower in Alpine.
Yes.
But during the day, though. So it's still, when you go there, it just gives us off such a, like, the energy is just like off.
Yeah.
It's like you're there. It's like, this isn't supposed to be here.
It's ominous.
And it just gives you, it's like this very strange feeling. And, like, again, we didn't stick around for, the nighttime happenings and, some of the stories, like, going backwards around the tower 3 times or 6 times.
Oh, God. Yeah.
We weren't going to try that.
I
didn't try that either when I was there.
Yeah.
I'm all right. I'll pass. Thank you, though.
Yeah, I'll go during the day and I'll just look at it.
I mean, it's
again, to me, the freakiest part of that story wasn't the original tale. It was when they decided, we're going to tear down this tower. And when, like, the people working on the tower, like, the construction workers, they had multiple people fall off the thing.
Yeah, no thank you.
And people reporting, like, it was like they were pushed.
Yeah.
But no one was there.
Get off me, tower. Yeah, no thanks.
Exactly. It's like, the tower wants to be left alone. Let's just leave it there.
Just leave it. We'll let it stay there for hundreds of years and just no one go near it. Just take a picture. Be happy with that.
Exactly.
That or no one wants to share a shift with Dave. Everyone keeps falling off and they said they get pushed. And Dave's the only one else who's working.
Bum, bum, bum.
But I mean, it's pretty ominous inherently, just a big old tower. But I think you're right. Yeah, the original tale isn't as scary as everyone else kind of experienced something too.
Right.
I think that's going to have to be our next adventure.
Most definitely.
Especially since it's right here in good old New Jersey. Thank goodness.
Yep.
Exactly. There are plenty of places to hit in Jersey.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. I just want to do so much. I need this pandemic to be over.
Yeah, there's a lot of running around that we want to do and a lot of exploring. It's been harder. We got to go to Sandy Hook and everything, but it's not. It's definitely much more difficult. And as the winter months go on, it'll probably
it's too cold.
To be more difficult.
It is too cold. Yeah.
Yeah. Going into these places, they never have heat.
No, because they're all like hundreds of years old.
Yep.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, these structures, like, historical. It's like, historical is cool, except for the fact of, because it's a historical location, they haven't put in, like, central air and heating. Yeah.
It's like, is that a ghost or is it just my breath? I can't tell. Like, I'd like to be able to tell the difference. Thank you.
They also had all wool and everything, so they were probably much warmer at the time.
True.
That's not wrong.
Good point.
Oh, there's just so many things. I don't know if anyone here has heard of Trans-Allegheny in West Virginia, and it's an old asylum, and it's one of, like, the top haunted places in America, and I'm obsessed. We actually had a listener write in, and we've been talking about it. She's like, if you ever come this way in West Virginia, let me know. She's like, you have to check it out. She's like, it's literally one of the scariest places me or my husband have ever gone to, and they love doing this stuff. And I was like, okay, I'm down. I have family in West Virginia. I'll travel. I don't care.
There we go.
But that's, like, on our bucket list. I definitely want to hit that once everything starts going back to whatever the new normal will be. I definitely want to make the trek out there. And if anyone wants to join us, please do.
Excellent.
Get the.
No, hey Pete, what's that former asylum down in Jersey? Was it Jersey or Pensy that you went to?
Are you talking about the prison, not Eastern State Penitentiary? No.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
penitentiary. Because
right.
Wasn't that one of the
right
also haunted locations as well?
Yes.
Right?
There have been some stories about it being haunted. And I've been there a few times, and most notably on Halloween at night. And I think we maybe even discussed that on one of our podcasts, just briefly, where I brought that up, and I said the same thing, that, I mean, it was like so cold inside there, and just, I don't know, it felt like there was just such an evil presence the entire time that I was in there. You know, you can't quite place a finger on it, you know, what it is, but something seemed off, you know.
Yeah. There's so much history there. I've always wanted to do it, but I don't want to go during Halloween because I know they have the actors there for Halloween. I want the real tour.
Yeah, and I've done both. I mean, you know, I've done, you know, on non-Halloween dates, like both during the day and at night. And it's a whole different vibe at night, I'll tell you. So if you can do it, you know.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
That's the problem with ghosts. You can't quite put a finger on it, especially a lot of those places.
No.
Nope, not really. Oh man. Oh, well, I guess if y'all want me to pull up some of these stories.
Yeah, I'd love to hear them.
Sounds good.
I gotta take a deep breath before this one. Lord help me. Okay. This is from Potential Inside Zero from Reddit. And I put out a post. I was like, hello, looking for encounters, message me. And they were the first one to reach out. So that was really nice. So thank you. Shout out.
I love when we do that because we always get so many interesting things from when we reach out to people for stories or go on Reddit or stuff. We've had we
made friends from it.
Yeah, so many friends and positive experiences from it. It's always been fantastic. So
very
awesome.
Cool. I love to hear everyone. I feel like so many people have a paranormal story and they don't have many platforms to tell it. So.
Yeah, or times or places appropriate to share it with.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right.
Okay. So I'm 33 now, but when I was a child, I always had trouble sleeping because I was afraid of the dark and what I would see. But I'll mention a few experiences I had in my lifetime. Thinking back on it, most of my experiences were probably just a tired child's mind playing tricks, or an older brother who liked to scare. I will share my most paranormal experiences first. I come from a large family and always shared a room because of it, which was a great comfort for someone like me who was afraid of the dark. I remember my older sister and I shared a room with each of our beds along either wall, mirroring each other, and a dresser in between. The room was in the quote-unquote basement of our split-level bungalow, where the foyer split off into two stairs, one of them to go to the main living area and bedrooms, and one to go down to the basement rec room, laundry, and 2 more bedrooms. This bedroom happened to be at the very end of the basement hallway, and at the foot of my bed faced the door. As a kid, this already made me very uneasy. I remember I had been woken up in the middle of the night, not sure what time it was, but there was an unease I could not shake. I tried to lay as still as I could, but as the creaks and groans of the house added to my fright, the more I listened, the more the knot in my stomach twisted. My eyes were glued to the slightly ajar door at the end of my bed. My child mind was convinced that it was going to creak open and reveal something I didn't want to see. So I decided to turn on my side, to face my sister sleeping in her bed. And then I heard it. The distinct sound of someone walking down the hall toward my room.
Oh, no.
Maybe it was my mom? I had better make sure I looked like I was sleeping. But the more I listened, the more it didn't sound like my mom's footsteps. My heart was in my throat, and fear had paralyzed my little 10-year-old body. As I heard the shuffling get closer, my eyes darted to the middle of the room. Who was it coming? The moonlight provided enough light to see whoever it might be. I could distinctly hear the hard shuffle on the carpet, so much louder than the sounds from the hall floor. Those shuffling footsteps started at the door and scuffled all the way up between our beds. It sounded like the person It sounded like the person doing it wasn't fully lifting their feet as they walked. It was so loud I couldn't believe what I was hearing and not seeing.
Was someone moonwalking down the hallway?
That would be impressive. I would
It's
go
got
for
heavy
that.
shuffling, and if he's not lifting his feet, I don't know.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I can picture it.
I just picture someone like shocking me because when you like rub your feet on the carpet with the socks and you get shocked.
Oh,
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, my cousins used to do that. I hated it. But as soon as it came to the middle of the room, the sound stopped. How could I so distinctly hear these footsteps but not see anything causing them? I laid still for a few moments after the sounds had stopped and then mustered the courage to get out of bed and turn on the room lights, much to my sister's annoyance. A few years later, my mom shared more stories about her parents who had passed. She mentioned how her mother tended to shuffle everywhere in her house slippers, with ice clinking in her glass as she moved. My mind immediately thought of the shuffling I had heard at night as a child. Was it just my grandma getting a last look at her grandchildren? Or perhaps it was just slightly sleep-deprived brain acting funny. So that was her first story. Or their first story.
Interesting. I see. So their grandmother used to shuffle around the house.
Little grandma with little slippers going all across the house with the ice clinking in the glass. Coming to check in on you. I feel like that'd be my little grandma. She would do that all the time. If you were like dying heat in the summer, she'd still shuffle in with a blanket and throw it over you. So I just picture that.
That makes me feel a little bit better.
Right? I'm just going to go with it was her grandma. I'm just going to go with that because anything else sounds terrifying, whether they're impersonating Michael Jackson or trying to shock you with the slippers and the static. I'll just go with little grandmas coming in to be like, hey, sweetie, here's a drink.
Hey, wow, look at that. My daughter made that.
My daughter made that.
Agreed.
God help us. Oh, no. Okay. Now, my next few experiences could be chalked up to sleep paralysis than paranormal, but I thought I might as well share. I'll start by sharing a strange story that my younger brother and I experienced when I was younger than my first story. I was probably about 7 or 8, which made my brother about 6 and my sister 10. My sister and I slept in the rec room, and sometimes my little brother would sleep on one of the couches by the fireplace. This night, I had woken up to the faux chandelier swaying and the lights dimming without me touching them. I remember trying to wake my sister, but she wouldn't budge. So I started to turn to my little brother, and around the same time, strange things began to intensify. Suddenly, it was like every wall in the room would flash a different color. The electrical components in the room were shutting on and off like the vacuum, and there was what I can only describe as a tornado of energy happening near the middle of the large rec room. Brilliant colors, but also pure light and dark were swirling around the room. I could have sworn objects in the room were being sucked toward the energy. It was like a portal was opened from one dimension to another.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no thanks. I'm backing up. I'm getting far away from this. Was there a being in the middle of the vortex? It seemed so. But as everything continued, my fear began to intensify. Instead of just white light and beautiful colors, there were scary shadows too. My fear was almost to a complete panic. I tried shoving my sister awake again and then hollered to my brother to wake, and he did. He looked around for a few moments terrified, but quickly ran to me as we tried to wake my sister again. When she still wouldn't wake, we ran out of the room together, completely terrified. Once upstairs, I looked into the TV reflection and saw shadow people sitting around the room. I got up and screamed again. Interestingly, my oldest brother happened to be awake at the time and encouraged us to go back to sleep. Now, I should also note that I do have a very active imagination, especially as a child. And when we would sometimes watch a campy but scary ghost show called Are You Afraid of the Dark? Well, I read that sentence really weird. And we would sometimes watch a campy but scary ghost show called Are You Afraid of the Dark? One episode in particular seemed to scare me quite well, and it was an episode where the main protagonist would see shadow people or aliens in reflective objects. So part of me wonders if it was partly my imagination and my oldest brother working together to scare us, but if not, it was an experience to say the least. My younger brother still remembers waking to the sound of the vacuum turning on and off while it was unplugged. But again, my oldest brother liked to scare us and could have very well been behind the scare, and my imagination took care of the rest.
See, a vacuum going on and off unplugged, that's unsettling.
Yeah.
That is truthfully unsettling. Everything else, I'll let I could say that kid could fill in the rest. But if anything, like lights turning off or the house
swirling energy.
Yeah, it sounded like a bad remake of Fantasia. It's the worst movie ever.
I liked Fantasia.
But I just, that's so much. I mean, in an older house, maybe the electricity is a little janky or clinkety clanky
but does it leap from the outlet to unplugged appliances? Or?
Yeah, right? Like, what's going on here? Why is it unplugged, but who's making it go off?
My vacuum is wireless.
Yeah, right?
Oh, my God. It's a Roomba, guys. It's just an early stage Roomba. Oh, my God.
So that's how they came to be.
Oh, yeah, right?
Yeah.
My problem is, at first I'm thinking this is more sleep paralysis from watching these scary shows, because Are You Afraid of the Dark was freaking terrifying. I could not watch that. It was too scary, and it was on Nickelodeon. It was a kids' TV show. And I remember I'd get so afraid. I'd watch the first intro and 2 minutes into the show, and I'd be like, nope, gotta go to bed.
It was produced for kids to scare the crap out of kids.
It really was, though.
And it did its job.
I was going to say, it definitely did its job.
It really did. But then her brother remembers part of the night. That's where I'm getting what?
That's the thing. It's like to have the, okay, was I hallucinating? Was I here? But yet, your brother's having the same hallucinations?
Yeah, exactly. And he's younger than her, too.
Wonky.
Yeah, shared hysteria. This sounds a little bit.
I mean, it's happened. I mean, there's cases of it happening, but what's this energy vortex? What is happening in this house? It might be a portal to hell.
I was just going to say maybe they opened up a little black hole in there. Just a...
Yeah, oh, no, time to move.
Things in there.
Time to move.
Oh, yes.
But I love how, they were afraid they couldn't wake up the sister, so let's leave her and run.
That's true. If I tried my hardest to wake you up, your ass is still sleeping, I'm leaving you there. I gotta go.
Oh, it's crap, she's the slowest sibling.
I was just gonna say, you don't have to be the fastest. You just can't be the slowest.
Exactly.
You outrun that bear. Oh,
yeah, my. You know what? I would have actually been a little wary. Afterwards, it's oh wait, she was there when the rest happened. Whatever it was, it's hey, are you still my sister?
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Bum bum bum. Oh no! Time to disown her. Yep. Time to go. So get the holy water, get the rosaries, get the salt, get anything. I don't care.
The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you.
They should really get one of those crucifixes, hang it up just a little bit.
Get the big thing of sage. We just got to get all this bad juju out of here. We got to get all the good
sage.
energy.
We'll get a candle. We'll work things out.
We'll figure it out.
That sounds like a little bit much for me. If a realtor was just and this house comes with a black hole that goes straight to hell, I'd be can we see other properties?
Can we leave?
You may see other properties through the black hole.
Sure, step inside. We'll just take the portal over. Oh, no. Oh, man. All right. Whoops. Oh, no, I don't want to respond. Okay, there we go. Next story. There are other quick, slightly paranormal sleep paralysis stories I have as well. I would have been in my 20s, napping, sleeping in the morning. I was between awake and asleep, and I remember seeing a very cartoon-looking shadow stick figure peek out from the halfway opened bedroom door a couple of times, almost as if it was checking to see if I was awake. Then it came into the room and started trying to tickle my feet, which greatly annoyed and angered me. But I woke and nothing was there. Still, it felt like the shadow was more devious than good. No, thank you.
So that's the tickle monster. Okay.
That's horrifying. Nope.
It's a stick
I'm sleeping
figure?
with shoes on. Goodbye. I'd be so sad. Don't touch me.
I'm more concerned that a stick figure.
It's like a cartoon looking
shadowy stick figure is roaming around looking for feet. That's
stranger danger. We gotta go.
That goes.
Second cousin to Slender Man. Yeah.
I was just about to say that, Nick. Slender Man. Yep.
Oh, which one's worse at this point? I'm upset. Oh my gosh. So they go on to say, more recently, I've had 2 to 3 experiences that have stuck out for me, and all of these have happened in a dream/wake state. I was woken after a gray-blue woman warned me to, quote-unquote, stay away, get as far away as you can. Having no idea what that was about, perhaps a warning to my next experience? Later, I was dealing with a lot of illness, not doing well physically or mentally. And just before this period, I had a weird dream awake experience of a woman stomping toward my room, cursing and shouting. Her hair was like dark tendrils of energy, feeding and sucking off of her. She was rattling my bedroom door handle, but the door was locked. At first, I thought it was actually my mother, because the voice sounded similar to hers. But upon further reflection, I think it was a premonition of myself in my darkest mental state. I think it was a warning of what was to come if I continued on my path. I am in much better place mentally than I was at that time and have made some changes, thankfully. But my last strange sleep-wake experience was a little girl coming to me with a bag on her head. Oh, God, no thank you. Her body was like a green-blue color, and the bag was on her head, had 2 large black spots where her eyes would be. I don't like this. She seemed slightly scared and didn't want to alarm me, but seemed to be looking more for help or comfort. She came close to me, and I looked into the black spots, to which a scary woman's screaming face was there. But again, I don't think this girl was that woman. She was just showing me maybe a scary woman who was bothering her or who she knew. I believe another slightly older child also came to comfort the girl. I think I at some point had mentioned the name of Jesus to them, and to which they quickly disappeared. I hope what I shared was understandable, and again, most of these should probably fall into more sleep paralysis category than ghostly. I apologize if it's not what you're looking for, but thanks for reading this book I left you. And that's all their stories, and so much went on.
Sounds like they need to have a freezing cold glass of water as soon as they wake up, because they really need to avoid this semi-awake,
right, this in-between state.
Yeah, this lucidity state here, because they're getting some pretty
time for some melatonin, time for
vibes.
some Tylenol PM, something. We gotta go to bed. We need to knock out.
No, we need to wake up.
We need to either stay asleep or wake up. So, I mean, if I'm going to bed, I'm going to take some Tylenol PM, knock out. And then it'll be like, when you wake up after like a really good long nap and you don't know what year it is and you're all confused. Mm-hmm. That's what you need. You're like drooling all over the pillow. You're like, where am I? It's the best. She needs one of those.
No.
She needs to just knock out, have sweet dreams, and then wake up refreshed.
Something like that. Because that was bad. That's a lot.
Yeah, I think, but definitely though. I lean to what Chris was saying more. I think she needs to wake up a little more, something a little more quicker wake up, because even after that good nap, like what you were saying, Paige, it's like, oh, okay, nice long nap, but you still have that grogginess where you might still be in that semi state there. It's like, yeah.
Is it 6 a.m.? Is it 6 p.m.? I really can't tell. It's the middle of the winter.
Yeah. Is my clock upside down? Is it 9?
Where am I? Oh, man. Yeah, I'm really glad they wrote in, because that was a wild ride.
That was a full thrilling adventure. Yes, you are correct.
You know what I find, though? A lot of, when going through recounts like this, and what we've all described, and just the paranormal in general, energy. Mm-hmm. It's like it's that feeling of energy. It's the sense, and it's when the energy starts manifesting, and again, just like what Pete was saying, it's like I'm a science guy, but here's another thing. I take karate, and in some of the Eastern arts, when there's things dealing with energy, I just do not understand. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because Oh, sorry. What's that, Chris?
No, I was going to say I agree. There's some things that they talk about that is perceivable that I don't get.
You just can't work it out.
Yeah. So I totally understand. Yeah, the science part of me is like, yes, but at the same time, the science part of us also created the Higgs-Boson particle with the
True.
CERN collider. So I mean,
yes,
if that's a thing. And, there's dark matter in the universe that we can't perceive. What's to say what else is out there?
Correct. Yeah, and is it just some people at certain times can perceive that energy a little more?
Yeah, right. Like your frequency in your head just picks up a little bit more.
Right. So. Yeah, just like what you were saying before, Paige. Like also like it's like okay, someone rubbing against the ground on the rug and then zapping you. Yeah, some people just seem to be a little more electrical sometimes.
Yeah.
So just in that same way, are some people a little more responsive, a little more attuned to different energies?
I definitely think so.
I totally believe that 100%. We've definitely talked to a lot of people who seem more in tune with that type of energy than I've ever been able to experience. And it's just
shout out to Ashley from our last episode because she's the most I don't even know how to explain it. She is so in tune with things like this. And her brother, they're so receptive and have had so many different experiences. It's insane. It's like you can't even begin to even understand how.
Yeah, where do we start to?
Yeah, it's like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have trouble explaining it because I'm very sensitive to things and I always trust that gut intuition of what's going on and what do they call you, like an empath, when you can feel the energy of if someone else is sad. I'm very in tune with that. So if Chris is sad, I'm going to be sad. I don't even have to be in the same town as him. I'll be like, are you okay? I'm sad. Are you sad? But I feel people are definitely, some people just have that little antenna up. Just there
have been many accounts too where when there was a spiritual presence in the room that animals, pets tend to react to it. I don't know if that's what you've run across as well, Chris and Paige.
Yes,
have you read
dog.
accounts like that? The dog will suddenly start whimpering or leave the room when there's a ghostly presence.
Or the cat is just staring at a part of it. It's like, okay, there's no bug. What are they staring at?
Yeah.
Right. Yes,
something's got their attention.
My house is very haunted, and my dog, we've had him for a year now, and a few weeks ago, we were having some weird stuff happen with the back of my house, the back door would just unlock by itself and open and stuff like that. And my poor 104-pound Mastiff mix Pikachu was just eating his dinner. He's all happy as a clam. And then all I hear is the back door swing open. It's like an accordion door almost. And he just comes whimpering and crying and hides under my legs. And I'm like, we're the only ones home. No windows are open. The air is not on. I was like, are you kidding me? And
baby boy.
My poor baby, he's literally 104-pound toddler. I have to hold him like a baby every day. Aww. I love him. But I walked out into that kitchen. I was like, excuse me, you can do whatever you want, but don't scare my dog. I was like, thank you. And then after that, my dog, he looks into the kitchen before he goes. He waits for the light to be on or one of us to go out there with him. So he is having none of it. But we also have the ghost of my cat in our house because all of us have seen him run past. He's been dead for a year now.
Can confirm.
Oh, that's freaky.
Yeah, you'll just see a little gray blurb go by and we're like, was that the cat? Oh, I just saw the cat. Wait, no, we did not. His ashes are right there.
Or you'll hear a thick, ba-bunk.
Yeah, when a cat jumps off the bed or something, you'll hear it and then you hear the little scurry.
Mm-hmm.
What was the cat's name?
His name was Snicky.
Snicky, okay.
Yeah.
Like that.
He was we called him Nicholas. I don't know why. My first pets were named after humans, but no humans that I know. I just picked random names. And my mom used to call him Sneaky because he would steal, when you get Chinese food, the little, the fried wontons they give you in the bag. Yeah. He would steal them and put them in his little cat apartment, all sneaky like. So we called him Sneaky, and then we just shortened it to Snicky. So that was my baby, but it was just easier. But we see him all the time. My mom we were watching Grey's Anatomy last night and she screamed. I'm like, what's wrong? She's like, I just saw the cat and he scared me. I was like, oh, normal. And even the dog, he has seen it too with me. He's witnessed the little ghost cat of Snicky going by and he's just a big baby. He's so scared. My poor baby. He was like, nope, I don't know what that was. It disappeared. I'm hiding under you for the rest of the day. But little kids too, little kids and pets, they're so in tune. They're so in tune.
Yeah,
Extremely
right.
perceptive to everything.
We're actually going to be investigating my cousin's house in a few weeks. I'm a nanny for my 3 little cousins, ages 6, 2, and 10 months. And the youngest 2 are super receptive to whatever's living in the house. It's in their basement. I've used the ghost apps.
Oh, that is horrifying.
I sent it to Chris yesterday. I got an EVP of it saying help me for the 3rd week in a row.
Consistently.
And my little cousin, she was down in her playroom by herself in the basement, and I had the camera on her, and she starts crying, and I go downstairs. I'm like, what's wrong? She goes, shh, she's sleeping. And I said, oh, no, she's not. We going upstairs.
Absolutely not.
And as I reached the
It's like,
top
okay,
of the
we will
stairs-
not disturb her. We're going to another room.
Exactly. I was like, we're going to go upstairs now, baby. It's okay. I carry her up the stairs. I turn off the lights, and I hear a little giggle, and it could have been my other baby cousin,
I've got the kid.
but
What
it
was
sounded
that?
like it came from the basement, and I went, no, that's a demon. Gotta go. And I was like, Parker, did you see her? She's like, uh-huh. I was like, oh,
Okay.
nope, gotta go.
All right.
Bye-bye.
That's all I need to hear. Goodbye. Thank you.
So it's crazy. No, thank you.
Babies and ghosts.
Babies,
Some of the most
baby ghosts.
horrifying combination. Because they're staring off at everything, or like your toddler cousin. Exactly. That was too much.
Yeah, no. Do not tell me there's someone sleeping in the basement. I'm not a fan. No, thank
No,
you.
thank you.
Mm-hmm. No, thank you.
I'm okay. But yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, so there's definitely something that we're not. I feel like as we get older, we're more closed off just because of society and what we're taught. And, you know, you get a little jaded and stuff. I feel like when you're a kid or you're a pet, you're just so much more open to things. Life's not as hard.
Yeah,
Right.
I understand that. I get that. Or you're focused. It's not one of the things. You have more responsibilities, more things to be focused on.
Yeah.
Your mind has less space to be
Yeah.
like, hey, by the way, let me practice mindfulness, assess my body, and then, assess the room and
Yeah.
continue on like that. It's more of like, I got to do everything right
I gotta
now.
go. I don't have time for this. As, you know, like, and especially a lot of, most people grew up in some sort of like religious setting where they're taught like, this is weird. Don't talk about this, especially around here. I feel like, whereas in like the West, we learned Midwest, they're like, yes, religion, but also, yes, paranormal and scary things are real as well. And energies, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Which
Oh,
we've talked about almost every podcast now.
yeah. Religion, cool. Magic, they fall in the same.
They fall in the same category.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
you'll see a lot of redundancy of the two.
Yeah, they happen to cross
Like,
over.
wait a second, hold on. I think I've read this in a passage. Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, wait. Hey, this kind of lines up.
Ghost, you say?
I say everything.
No, we call him the spirit now. We call him the spirit.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, I
Um,
guess I have the last story if y'all
yeah.
want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
This has been
definitely.
amazing, and it's flown by. What the hell? Wow.
I know.
Okay. This user, their username, I didn't see it till now.
Uh-oh.
Sub to PewDiePie. We gotta
Oh,
go.
no.
Never mind. I'm not gonna read your story. Just kidding. All right. When I went to Japan in 2018, my dad rented a house and basically all the floors were wood, and when you walked there would be creaks. I shared a room with my grandma, and outside the door, it's like a tiny junction where there's another door to my uncle's room. I also take a very long time to sleep, and my grandma wasn't feeling well that day, and I didn't have my phone that night because I had to charge it outside, and this is quite important later on. So one night, my grandma was already sleeping, and I was still awake. Then it was a bit later than midnight, and I heard a creak outside my door. I thought it was my uncle entering his room, so I didn't think much of it. Then, after about 5 minutes, there was another creak right next to my grandma's head, and her head was closer to the door, so yeah. Slowly, the creaks just got closer and closer to me, and during this, I felt really scared, and the energy around me was really dark and heavy. All this time, while the creaking was going on, and in between it, I heard knocks on the window. It sounded like some clothes hanger in the cupboards were rattling, and it made me really scared. So eventually there was a creak right next to my head, and I'm a Buddhist, so I chanted myself to sleep. The next day I woke up and told my grandma about everything that happened, and she said it might have been my late grandfather since he had passed away a month prior. But I don't think it was, since I was very close to him, and I don't think he would give off such dark energy, especially since he loved me a lot. So you might be thinking, why didn't you wake up your grandma? Well, she didn't feel well, and I didn't want to wake her up. Also, I was 13 during the incident, so yeah, I hope this is okay. Thanks, my dude. Oh, man.
Wow. Did you just say that a Japanese ghost or his grandfather could have been visiting him?
Someone visiting, and someone was making loud steps, knocking on the window, shaking some cupboards.
Rattling, creaking things. Ah, man.
Dark energy. Again, no thank you.
Yeah, nothing.
No. Seen too many of those, like, what's the thing? Some of the Japanese horror, like the Grudge type of thing. It's like, yeah. Don't need any of those types of spirits or energy running around.
No, thank you. I chant myself to sleep too. Good night. Gotta go.
Yeah, I'd make beads at that point and be like, okay, I gotta make sure I chant these or that. Spirit, the very pale spirit with the dark black hair.
Oh, no thank you.
Exactly.
Attack me.
I will cry. I would cry. No, nope. No thank you. I'm okay. Actually, I had my one and only sleep paralysis. It was a woman who was pale with dark hair. She almost resembled more of a human form of the Momo. I remember a Momo character that came out on Facebook a few years ago.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Which is an exaggeration of the Grudge Girl.
Yeah, and that's what you and Christian had saw in your sleep paralysis, and mine was a more humanized version. Mm-hmm. And she just poked my back, and I looked up, and she went, shh, and I went, oh, no, thank you. And I went right back to sleep. So...
No thanks.
No thanks.
Yeah,
gotta go.
I'll pass.
Doesn't mean no for me, dog. I'm not turning my chair. Whatever other singing show things. There's an X.
Oh man, that reminds me of a story that I heard in passing where they had flipped over, and when they flipped over, they saw Jesus was laying in the bed with him. And he flipped back over, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go back to sleep now. That's okay."
I'm just picturing the buddy Jesus,
the buddy Christ.
Oh yeah, buddy.
Just point finger guns. Hey. Oh, thank you.
But yeah, no, that's terrifying. I hate that.
I just don't want to be woken up. Here's my 2 rules. Don't wake me up. Don't touch me. Anything. If I'm in bed, leave me alone. And also, if I'm in the bathroom, leave me alone. If I'm in the shower, if I'm just doing my thing, no,
Don't
thank
forget,
you.
We're running on different time zones. Obviously, there's a disconnect. We're running on Greenwich Mean Time. They're running on,
ghostly mean time.
Yeah.
Yes, their GMT means a little different.
Well, I'm just saying, this is my space right now. You can hang out. You could chill. Wait for me to wake up. We'll have a ball. I don't care. But leave me alone. You're most vulnerable when you're sleeping and when you're in the bathroom. Gotta leave me alone.
Maybe that maybe being the most vulnerable is the only time that they can be effective. You ever think about that?
I don't like
maybe
that.
Maybe they're connected.
No, I don't.
The more you know.
Right?
Right? I'm just not going to accept it.
Where's the little star going?
Yeah.
Rainbow.
Oh my God. I don't know if you guys have seen or heard about the ghost that likes to unravel all the toilet paper in my bathroom at my house. I actually have it up on our Instagram.
It's not a cat ghost, is it?
I was going to say maybe it's Snicky.
I was thinking that too, but it's too high up for when he was alive to reach, so I don't know if he'd be able to or not. But that's a good thought.
Huh.
Because he was enough of an asshole to do that, and I loved him. He was my big fat blueberry boy, but he was enough of a jerk that he would have done that to me totally. Yep. But yeah, I have video. I actually caught the tail end of it unraveling by itself one day viciously, and it's on our Instagram. Ghosted WCP if you're interested. But it's happened twice now. And I'm like, this is also our faucet turned on by itself last week in my bathroom. And I was like, come on. Full blast, full hot, everything. And it's hard to, it's not an easy
We
lift
just
either.
installed that.
It's brand new.
Wow.
So
The ghosts are partying at my house.
That's very odd.
They really hate conserving water. They really hate conserving trees. They said, screw your
They
shortage.
open the back door. They open the cabinet.
We're very dirty ghosts. We need more water.
I feel like they're more like, since it's such an old house, what the hell does this do? Oh my God, real running water? I don't have to go to the well?
Have you ever tried to wash off ectoplasm? It's impossible.
I feel like it's just like when Nickelodeon would like slime you, like the slime time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, we have reached the end. Thank you guys
Thank you
so
so
much
much.
for
Quickly.
joining. I
Right?
know, right?
I know. It's like, time flew.
It really
Yeah.
did. But thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you to everyone who submitted.
Yeah.
Oh, this was great.
You guys.
Thanks for having us.
Of
Thank
course,
you.
literally.
I think we've learned like a couple of things too. Like again with the perceptions of energy and such. Kids, cats, and dogs. They can pick it up, and we old folk we can't.
Oh, a bummer.
It's like it's almost a blessing.
And when we experience that energy, yeah, it's kind of freaky.
Yeah, it's just a little paranormal, if you
rather
will.
just, I'd rather bottle the energy and save it for myself.
Can I throw one last quick one in?
Oh,
Absolutely.
please.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that energy, what I was talking about before with, again, the whole Eastern philosophies and martial arts and things like that. I was taking, like, at our local dojo, they had someone else come in to teach this other class called Tuite. And it's kind of, using energy and also like certain things, rubs and holds and things.
Interesting.
And this older sensei, he was teaching, and he's like, he needed a volunteer, and I was like, oh, sure, why not? I went over, and what he did was he tapped, like, kind of like with one hand, he tapped kind of like my gut, and the other one kind of tapped like my upper chest. To this day, I still don't know what exactly happened. And again, this is with energy because I flew back several feet.
What?
And I don't understand. And this is what I'm talking about with energy. We just don't understand it.
All right, Chris, I need you to stand up. I'm going to try this on you.
Also, wait a second.
Street Fighter.
Whoa.
Yeah, but that's what it was like. It's like what is this, like some kind of like
This man hit you with a
video
Hadouken.
game, like he Hadouken me, or
Yeah, Ryu.
but he didn't hit me hard. He just kind of like tap, and it was like and I flew back. I'm like, okay, what was that?
How do you teach? Paige, please. Oh no, stop doing
Listen. If you
sorry, Chris.
Yeah.
if you stand up right where you are, you'll land back on your bed. Like you won't. Like
I don't trust it.
come on.
No.
For a reason, for the people. Well, I'll put that up on Instagram if he ever lets me try.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
But that's truthfully like energy transference right there.
Exactly, and this is what it would be great if we could actually be more perceptive to these things, and maybe we can finally understand a little better. But in the meantime, what was that?
Exactly. That's gonna be the title of this episode. What was that?
Yeah. No explanation.
Oh man, that's so cool though.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's an art called it's found in multiple martial arts, but it's called Tuite, and it's like basically energy interruptions and using energy in different ways. And I'm like, oh, okay, sure. Well,
fair.
What could hurt?
I can't wait to Google this later. I'm gonna look up YouTube tutorials. I'm gonna be like,
yeah, right.
Oh no,
Kristen, watch out.
This is gonna be the episode. It was a pleasure talking to everyone.
Yeah, sorry.
Just in case I don't make it
guys.
past. You guys, obviously, you guys have an amazing podcast.
Absolutely.
What is it? And where can we find that?
Well, it is called What Exit? Jersey Stories, and we're found on the Shared Universe podcast network. And you can find us on pretty much all the different apps, like your
iTunes, right?
iTunes, Stitchers, your Apple,
Spotify,
your Google,
think, right?
Spotify's,
You can tune in on
Pocket
Facebook
Cast.
too.
the gamut.
Oh, yay. So everyone go follow, go subscribe, go do
Please.
everything, please.
You'll love it. I've been
Like,
there
comment, 5 stars,
so
subscribe.
many times, and every time I've had a blast, or I learned something I had no idea about.
Yeah. Come listen to the 12 Days of Terror.
Oh my God.
Unfortunately, Pete had some technical issues for a good portion of that. So it's actually you and I talking a lot, Chris.
Yeah. The terror happened from a technological standpoint.
Yes.
The scariest one of all.
Yeah,
Technology.
could you believe sharks? In
Can you
my
believe
New
sharks?
Jersey-
I can believe in sharks, yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
That came out wrong. Can you believe sharks in my Christian New Jersey? That's my problem.
I can. That's actually the first episode of you guys that I got to see, and that's how I learned about you guys.
Oh, very cool.
That was
Thank
awesome.
you.
So that was great. I tuned in. I was like, this is awesome. I was like, I like these guys.
Well, we hope to have both of you back on again, too.
Definitely.
Oh my gosh,
We'll,
please, we'll come. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah.
We're there.
And once things are, normal, whatever that is again, we definitely should do a group thing
Yes.
and check out some of these Jersey historic haunted sites.
Yes, I'm so down. Oh my gosh,
Definitely.
I get too hype.
No, I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Throwing down right now.
Yeah. Dude,
Awesome.
where can you find our stuff online?
Well, if you're interested in being a part of the show, just like our special guest today, you can email us at ghostedwithchrisanpaige@gmail.com.
Because people are going to want to follow all these great adventures that we do go on.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're all on our Instagram, our stories. If you follow us on Twitter, which is GWCP_podcast, I share my thread live of all of my goings-ons in my house. So anytime anything haunted happens, I add it to the thread I have going on Twitter. So you can find that there.
Shout out to the one person in the UK who listens sometimes. You're rad, and we do that for you.
Very cool.
Wait, where was that? What was that country that we were like?
Shout out to the person in Bosnia as well.
Yes,
Didn't
shout
know
out.
that.
Oh, lucky you. We have the one Russian who pops into our...
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
He's been on a couple of times in the
I've seen
the comment
before.
section.
I love Jersey Stories podcast.
Thank you, and I
love
podcast
it.
for you, Mr. Russian.
For you.
Yeah.
Aw.
Oh, and then our Instagram, Ghosted WCP, and that's where I man all that. I'll respond, I promise.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
I'm always on there clicking and liking and watching, so
We'll take care of you.
See, Pete, we got to do an Instagram.
Yeah.
do it.
We'll make it happen.
Yes. And we could do Instagram lives together. We could all join in. So this is great. We can get this going.
Oh, that would be
Nice.
so cool.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you everyone for tuning in to another spooky Saturday.
Yeah, this has been so much fun. I'm so happy we could
Yes,
get to do
and
this.
thank you guys again for joining us. This was great.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
All right, stay spooky, my friends.
Stay spooky, everyone.